Hello everybody, welcome to my channel RC Matt. Today what I'm going to be doing is changing the front diff in the Losi Lasernut to the Vitavon alloy diff housing. Superior to the plastic one that's in there. Looks really nice. It's in red, you can get this in different colours as well, but I plump for the red, it's really nice. So let's crack on with removing the old one. I don't need to take the wheels off, as I've already had this diff out once. I've already had this diff out once to put some shims in and a new gear, so I know my way around it pretty well. I mean, come on, Losi, what's this? It's a fake winch. Absolutely waste of time putting that in there. I'll tell you why. Because when you put the body down, you can't see it. So it's absolutely pointless. What's it going to winch through? Nothing. Waste of plastic. Again. So I'm going to be taking that off, and I ain't going to be putting it back on because it looks stupid. I try and keep these screws in. The bits I take off, and then I know exactly what I'm putting back on then. Now, to get this top plate off, I'm going to have to remove the body pin posts. Otherwise I can't get to the two screws down there. I think, if I can remember, there's a shortcut to this. Just nip that one off. I can take the top one off, and then it'll slide around, and then I don't have to take all four out then. It does have a little spacer behind it, which I'm going to remember to put back in later on. There we are. Now that should just slide over there now, and I can get to the two screws that hold the top plate in. so I'm going to have to back these two off as well, just so I can lift the top plate up a bit. And I'm lifting the diff out. I have to come out all the way, just enough to move the plate up. That should be enough. Yeah, I've removed the screws from underneath the diff, just for a bit of speed really. That comes out. Little skid plate. And before I remove that metal plate there, I'm just going to take the sway bar screws out, because that is actually holding it in as well. They're very tiny, these screws, so when you take them out, just be careful you don't lose them. I don't think you have to take all four out, because we're not going to be using this bracket, so you can leave two of them in. Just turn them round like that, because the new Vitavon case has it already on. It says Vitavon on the front there, really nice. That should just lift up now like that. We're more or less ready to come out. Pull this plate off now. It has the pins attached as well, so it doesn't really matter. Just going to drop that there like that. Need to pry it out a little bit. There we go. That's front diff removed. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this car onto the floor. So I've got a bit more space on my bench. Okay, let's have a bit of a comparison. It's exactly the same, modelled off the plastic one. Strip this down now. Set these two bottom screws out. quite long, these. I think it's just these top two that are holding it in now, and then that should be able to separate, so I can take all the internals out. Not going to be using any of the original screws because the Vitavon case comes with everything anyway. Right, so that should just pull apart. That should just lift out now. Like I said before, I've already put spacers, or shims should I say, in this because of the wear of that main gear there. They sent me some shims, the oversized ones for there, and for actually inside the diff itself, which I've replaced, and also behind that gear there there's an extra shim behind there which I'm going to be putting in the Vitavon case. Whether I need it in the Vitavon case I don't know, but I'm going to try it, see what happens. But they're so much tighter when you put Loctite on them, miles better. Stops them flying out as well. That's going to be going back in. That should now just pop off. Give it a push from behind. The bearing that comes with the Vitavon case is actually bigger, so I don't need that bearing, but I do need that shaft. Just going to get some tissue paper. Okay, let's just take the front cover of this off now. Same size screw. So this is a 2, by the way. Who's wondering what size it is? I'll just drop them onto there. Drop them onto there like that. The bottom ones are bigger. The bottom ones are a 2.5. There we go. That just pulls off now. Oops. Yeah, that inner bearing is a lot bigger than the original one. Before we secure that, I'm going to put some grease on it. And find it. Going to be using this grease inside. It's the green extreme grease. Let's put a bit on my finger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of that all the way around there like that. So when I put it in the housing, it touches the bearing on this side. Like that. It feels nice inside there like that. Not cheap, this grease, so I ain't going to waste it. And also I'm going to use some Loctite back on this, back on here. Only need a tad like that. Might be too much, that, to be fair. Don't massively over tighten that, because the Loctite will do its job. Yeah, that's what you want. It's perfect, that. Just a tiny little bit of play, not a lot. Okay, let's have a look how this looks. Now I'm going to be leaving the shims on. Maybe I don't need them. Maybe I don't need them on this. I'm going to take it off for now and have a look. No, I haven't a clue where the other one's gone. There's a tiny little bit of side to side movement on that. Obviously it's not locked down yet. So what I'm going to try and do is put one shim on this side, which is, oh well, because I don't know where the other one's gone. Okay. Well, that one shim has stopped that moving totally. But nice and free inside there. So let's stick some grease on the gear. I've only had 2 goes with this car, and I knew from watching previous videos from other channels that there was problems with these gears breaking, and I did have that problem on my second outing with mine, and that's why I got the warranty kit. So I'm going to make sure when this goes back together, it's right, it does the job. Okay, I can get that front end back on now. Don't need any more grease in there. So remember, I've put a shim on this side, so I'm going to have to sort of angle it over a little bit. If I can. Might have to take that screw out there. Is it going in? It's not touching that screw, is it? Oh, there we go. Right, so just press that together and I'm going to try that. Oh, that feels lovely. Yeah, it's all free. There's little to no play in there at all. Okay, I'll just put the screws back in now. And then that's ready to be put back in the vehicle. Actually, before I put them screws in, I just need to get a bit of this grease off my fingers. Loctite. A little bit of Loctite on there. A bit more thread lock on that one. Like I said, with the thread lock in, you don't have to massively over tighten it, because it will do its job. It's on the bottom ones. Okay, they're tight enough. Give that a spin. Yeah, it feels nice out. Well, I've got it out onto the bench. I've just got to take all these screws out. Small screwdriver, what's that one? 1.5 for these. Put the sway bar in. I'm going to take all 4 of these out because it's a different design to the original. It's one full piece that goes all the way across rather than 2 little pieces that swing round. I like this new design better. Okay, that can stay down there now until I get it back in the car. Alright, one more thing to take off the original plastic housing is this back metal plate and plastic plate. I forgot that then. That'd have been fun. Oh, where's it gone? Where's the pins going? Not in there. I ain't going in there. Right. We can do away with that now. Right, so the back. It's already got screws in it. So take them out. Make sure I thread lock them back in as well. The new ones. Right, so I'm not going to be using the old screws, so I'll take them away. Just put them in there for now. I'll get a thread lock on that. I put a bit more on that one because when I put it through this plastic here, it'll probably take half of it back off again. Remember, don't over tighten them. Perfect. Top plate screws, take them out. Okay, these are for the front bracket, aren't they? Take them out. And the bottom ones, which are the bigger ones, aren't they? Are they? Yep, they're the bigger ones. 2.5 of them. Okay. Basically ready to be put back in the vehicle now. So just a quick recap then. So I've thread locked that. I've thread locked those two. Thread locked them. Just need to take them two out as well. There to hold the shock tower in. So a lot of these screws are the same size, so it's not too bad if you get them mixed up. Okay, there we go. Right, I just need to put the lid on this grease. Get rid of that, I don't need that for now. Keep my Loctite out, I need my Loctite. Okay, right, now it's time to bring the vehicle back. Just pull all this out of the way. Well, I found it. There's the other shim. I'll put that in my spares box because I won't be using it on the other side because it works perfect as it is. Right, just get the vehicle. Oops, I'm wrecking the joint. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, right, let's get away with them screws there. Okay, now that was a bit hard to get in before that. Doesn't really matter I put that in actually, because when I do the centre diff I'll be taking it out anyway. So I'm going to actually take that shaft out. I'm going to leave that out on this install because my next video we're doing the centre diff. Just make sure that goes underneath there like that. Okay, so we've got that in, so I'm just going to bolt it all back up and then show you what the finished outcome is. Okay, so I've got the diff back in, but I've noticed when I've been putting the front plate on here that holds the shock tower in place, it's actually snapped. So that's probably no use, no ornament to anyone, that. I've ordered a Vitavon one to replace this, but I'm going to see if I can get it back in just for now. Otherwise we won't be able to put the shock tower on. So I successfully got it fitted. I had a little bit of a problem getting one of the bottom bolts in. I almost threaded the housing, so I had to take it all back out, clean the threads out and put a new bolt in, and I managed to get another bolt in without any issue. So anyway, that's the front Vitavon casing. Looks quite nice. Can't see it much. So my next video, I'll be changing the front one. So please stay tuned for that video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions, please ask. And as soon as I've got all three in, we'll be taking it out for the big test. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.